Hello everyone, we are here today again. This is Olurutimlawan and we'll be giving some gist around Canada and around the world. Lots of things to talk about, lots of things happening in the world right now. And today we're just going to discuss the talking points. And today we'll be talking about the phone call between Carney and Trump. We know how that has been going on for some time, the issue between Canada and the US. Also, we'll be talking about the billionaire who wants to buy Hudson's Bay's charter. And also, self defense is allowed in Canada. On another point, Ozempic approved in Canada. And finally, on a sad note, the nicest judge in the world dead at 88. So let's get right into it. Firstly, the news came out that Carney and Trump met over the phone. They talked over the phone concerning the issue between Canada. You know, for a long time, Canada and the US have been close pals and did everything together until Trump came in and he felt somehow US was being cut out. And so he wanted a renegotiation between the US and Canada. And for a very long time, we've been hearing he's going to make Canada the 51st state of the US, and this didn't go well with many Canadians. But at the long run, these are all politicians, the way they talk, just to move you and ginger you. That's all. That's the way I see it. At the end of the day, it brought all sorts of tariffs and there was a breakdown. For some time, no talk and nothing. And, as US, one of the superpowers of the world, they used their whole strength on Canada. And at the end of the day, it came out that Canada and the US are talking right now, and two of them they discuss about the similarities, the friendship for a long time that has been going on between Canada and the US. And according to the report, they said they discussed about the current trade challenges, opportunities, and shared priorities. And one thing is certain, these politicians need to sit down and talk, because at the end of it, just like they always say, when there's a fight between two elephants, it's the grass that suffers. Once there's this thing between these politicians who believe in their ego, definitely we masses, we common people are the ones who is going to suffer a lot of all these things. And that's why personally I want them to try as much as possible to resolve this. They should resolve what's going on between them, because it's making things more and more expensive. Because I remember there were some things that we bought recently, and before you know it, the price is already so high, and you begin to wonder what's going on. Things are so difficult that you wonder that are we still going to make it? But all the same, it's good at least they are talking right now, and we hear what their talk and everything, where it's going to end. And also, we hear that billionaire David Thompson wants to buy Hudson's Bay Charter and donate it to Manitoba Archives. Thomas, taken aback by Western's family's 12.5 million offer and proposes auction. Two of Canada's richest families appear poised for a battle over one of the country's most famed documents. Oh, that's interesting. Because when it becomes a battle of two billionaires, it's the province that enjoys it at the end of the day, because it becomes a battle of the highest bidder. That's how I see it. And as I'm based in Manitoba, I always want the best for our province as much as possible. If the highest comes onto us at the end of the day, that will be fun. He said Thompson Thompson is willing to spend at least 15 million on the historic document which he wants to donate to the archives of Manitoba. And the document became available after the Bay filed for creditor protection in March under the weight of tremendous debt. Thompson's filing could become a hurdle for the department store, which is due to ask a court on September 9 for permission to sell the charter for 12.5 million to waiting investment. Personally, I don't know anything. I don't want to hear anything. All I want is the best for Manitoba, and what is due Manitoba should be handed over to Manitoba. And at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of rich guys or rich families, and all we want is everything sent to Manitoba. The Royal Charter is an important artifact within Canada's complex history, and our goal is to ensure it is preserved with care, shared with integrity, and made accessible to all Canadians, especially those whose histories are deeply intertwined with its legacy. That's all, nothing more, nothing less. Just like we always said, we want it, and we want it to be given to Manitoba. And also, in other news, we've, we've been made to understand a very funny thing, because we've always heard about that in the United States. But yes, in Canada, don't be misinformed. The self-defense is allowed, because obviously you are allowed to protect yourself. And according to the news, it said after a decision to charge a man for allegedly assaulting an intruder in his home in Lindsay, Ontario, sparked widespread reaction this week, one criminal lawyer has a reminder for the public: self-defense is legal in Canada, but within reason. Of course, you can't just lay low and allow yourself, maybe you are being intruded upon, or maybe somebody is trying to do something to you, and all you just do is to relax. Because that's one of the fundamental reasons why human beings are alive. You have to defend yourself. It's just an instinct. You can't just keep your hands low and look. They said the Quarter Lakes Police Service has faced criticism for charging a 44-year-old man after an altercation that left the alleged intruder with life-threatening injuries. Monday morning in the small town northeast of Toronto, police have provided a few details, but say the resident is facing charges for aggravated assault and assault with a weapon, and the intruder is also facing charges, was airlifted to hospital afterward. The incident even prompted protection from Ontario, Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who weighed in on the case Wednesday, saying the charges against the resident shows something is broken. But Tonya Keynes, a criminal lawyer based in Toronto, said public backlash against the charges, including from Ford, is premature given the lack of information about the case. He says some of the concerns about the charges are also erroneous. Even seen numerous comments on Twitter about how there's no self-defense in Canada, where we fully have a section that deals with self-defense. He said, I think part of the public fear is a lot of the time misinformation that is passed around online about the way that the law works in Canada. And personally, I didn't even know that there's self-defense. I always felt you are left to your own good only. But apparently said it's a law in Canada, but because that should be a natural law, because somebody cannot just infringe upon your personal space, and you feel Nothing can be done. You do, because many people think I can just do anything and the law can't hold me responsible. But you can't allow yourself to be violated and just look on and no. So, but apparently there should be a reasonable force. Multiple people in Lindsay told CBC Toronto this week that they felt the resident was justified in defending himself and shouldn't face legal consequences. Yeah, I feel there's any form of threat to your life or your property or whoever is around you, then you have to defend yourself. He said, in my opinion, the guy's getting a rough ride, said Tom Martin, who lives with his wife and 2 children. He probably did what he thought was best to protect his family and his property. I will have done the same, so I hope he gets some support. So definitely we should be able to defend ourselves. That law should be spelled out and the police should do the right thing. Don't leave them hanging, because that's the most important thing. You can't just leave people hanging and feel there's nothing you can do about that. So, and also, Ozempic has been approved in Canada. That's a good thing, but recently I've been hearing that a lot of people have been taking advantage of that and using it for weight loss. I have not done a deep research about that, but still going to talk about that in subsequent video. But we just have to be careful. Health is very, very important. He said it was previously approved by Health Canada in 2018 as a diabetic medicine. Health Canada has approved Ozempic to reduce the risk of further kidney decline among patients with type 2 diabetes. Between 30 and 50% of people with type 2 diabetes develop some form of chronic kidney disease. Ooh. So, its patients taking the drug were also likely to die from cardiovascular disease, another condition that affects many patients with diabetes. The study funded by Ozempic manufacturer Novo Nordisk was peer-reviewed and published in New England Journal of Medicine last year and contributed to Health Canada's decision. Well, the most important thing is to stay healthy, and I support that as long as it helps people to get the required healing that they deserve and the required protection. So in an email to the Canadian press, Health Canada confirmed that on August 13, it had approved Ozempic to reduce the risk of sustained estimated glomerular filtration rate decline, end-stage kidney disease, and cardiovascular death in adults with type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease. Obviously, Ozempic has been powerful and has been doing a lot of work. I just hope this is not a sponsored research just to make them make a lot of sales. I just hope it does what it's actually saying it's going to do. Said Ozempic is the first GLP-1 drug approved in Canada to protect both kidneys and the heart in patients with type 2 diabetes, said noting that the cardiovascular benefits of semaglutide have been extensively studied. The benefit of Ozempic is that you also get weight loss, which is a very important goal for most people with type 2 diabetes. That's a very exciting combination, he said. Weight loss, protection of your kidney and heart. That's a good one. Some people experience gastrointestinal side effects when they take Ozempic, said, including nausea, vomit, constipation, and diarrhea. More severe complications can include gallbladder inflammation and pancreatitis, but most side effects are minor, he said. So If it works for you, take it. The benefits of slowing or stopping progressive kidney disease in people with diabetes would outweigh the risks of minor side effects. All said, that's good. At least it helps, and that's the most important thing, because health is very, very important. As long as it helps people get healed, I'm in for it. I'm good for that. That's the most important thing. Okay, and finally, on a sad note, Judge Franco Caprio, known online as the nicest judge in the world, died at 88. For a long time, he has been fighting pancreatic cancer. Now, I remember the first time I saw his video, there's this little snippets here and there. And I was wondering, this guy, it's a nice guy, has this Italian accent, because you always know those sounds. So I was wondering who is this guy? And I watched a lot of video of him and saw a lot of very encouraging videos. And it was sad when an old man getting cancer. I just had it at the back of my mind that would be very difficult for him to beat. But at the end of the day, he's from a retired municipal judge in Rhode Island. And at the end of the day, he finally passed away, and that was so sad. But also, all the same, good ups to him. It's been wonderful, and we've seen a lot of video how even people in their fault and wherever, it still helped them. At times, the funniest part, calling little children to judge their parents. Definitely, he was a symbol of empathy. A very nice guy, but all the same, that's the world we are in today. Cancer. I just can't wait for the day a cure will finally be found for cancer, because this is a disease that have taken lots of people, personally, friends, a lot of people I know who died of cancer, and nothing could be done. Such a terrible death. But all the same, I wish I had more to put into research, and those who are still doing the research, more power to you. We can't wait for this disease to be taken away completely. Lots of people have been paying tribute to this guy, and we miss him, and I hope that we'll be able to fight injustice and oppression around the world, and he will be a symbol. He will be something that will put people and give people that spirit, so that there will be justice in the world. Thanks for listening, and if you love this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to share. It goes a long way. Give us a thumbs up, and most important, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and see you on the next video.